All right, so now that I'm done talking to myself for a few minutes with it out recording, this is take two. All right, so this is my background story, pre-op video, you could say. 10 days before I undergo bilateral simultaneous hip arthroscopy. I think for myself, like anyone that's got labral tears, hip impingement, it's been dealing with it for a while, and you're just like trying to find other people to relate to you, or look to see other people's outcomes, like surgically. You're kind of just looking for like any advice or resources, and I haven't been able to find any like personal accounts from anybody that's undergone simultaneous hip arthroscopy, even though all the research has shown that really positive outcomes with it. So even though I'm not someone that has like dreamed of making YouTube videos, I thought I'd do this to kind of be a potential resource for others. So so I'll either be an account for others that will show you can have a successful outcome with it, or that it's a really bad idea and you shouldn't do it. So a little bit of my backstory with respect to my hips. Kind of back in like June 2023, I was coming off Buffalo Marathon in May. Ran a good 2:44 marathon. I thought things were maybe potentially like on the up and up, and then kind of just out of nowhere started getting symptoms in my right hip. I would start to try to go on some short runs, get a lot of pain with hip flexion. It couldn't go beyond like 10 minutes before it was just like on fire, like anterior iliopsoas area. And then started noticing I was having this like audible clunk anytime I brought my hip from flexion to extension. And then I would get like really bad flaring and spasms of my adductor all the way up in my pelvic area down to my knee, even both while running and then even at rest. And it was just like waking me up anytime I would move in the middle of the night, like for quite a while. Now I haven't been running for the last 2 months, so I don't get that anymore, thankfully. But then I started going to somebody, got imaging, found out I had cam deformities on both of my hips. My right one was the only one symptomatic at that time, back in September 2023. And then while laboring my right one, I started getting symptoms in my left hip as well. Not as significant, but it's still there. And some days it's been difficult to kind of be able to tell like which hip is more like problematic. So with that being said, being a medical resident with somebody that has the ability to just take like a ton of time off, I kind of just went out to see Dr. Craig Morrow in Pittsburgh and asked him if he would be open to the idea of doing bilateral hip scopes on me, knowing that the research is there and that the outcomes should be about the same from a recovery standpoint. And he was agreeable to doing that for me. He thought with my age and overall physical makeup, like it was something that was reasonable that I could do. And that was back in mid-December, and now here I am, just 10 days out. I've had a lot of like hesitation, because I guess kind of about sharing it, because you never know how these things will go, I guess. And then a lot of people warn about doing both hip scopes because they can't imagine doing it. But I guess I both have confidence in Dr. Mara and just my own like physical makeup, and how I've consistently just prepared myself preoperatively with all the PT and conditioning I've continued to do even through everything. No running, but good amount of time on the bike, conditioning, the strengthening stuff I've been doing. So 26, having bilateral hip surgery is not something I would have drawn up, you know, at any point, even a year ago, but here you are. You kind of just take what life throws at you, I guess. So yeah, both, I guess, somewhat nervous, but hopeful, and hopeful potentially, you know, to get kind of back to the life that I used to have, and doing a lot of stuff that I love and I'm passionate about, and finishing a lot of goals that have been kind of been put on hold for a while. Yeah, so that's about it, and I will update you all more after the surgery. All right, see you. And I guess a little bit more like on the symptom front, which I realized I didn't really touch on before. So additionally, you know, in addition to like the adductor pain and stuff, you know, I didn't mention also, like, well, I was trying to kind of see if I could continue to run, if it was really that bad or not. You know, I started to experience like some really bad pelvic floor pain as well. And I started to have this one day where I was like trying to go for a run in the morning, and I literally felt like my pelvic floor was just getting like shredded. And that was basically the point at which I like decided like I'm done running. And finally it was like, yeah, I need to either be like done with running forever or look into this. And then there's just been like certain breast symptoms that have just, you know, not gotten better at all. It's particularly like some of the just the day-to-day stuff, like cool AT stuff. And you know, like me, like if I try to like, lift my leg up to like put my shorts on or put my shoes on, like that's stuff that's like the most painful every day, honestly. And man, like certain positions I'll get on the floor, like sometimes with my kid, or if I'm just been like sitting for an extended period of time, my hip flexors get like super tight. And some days like I've just had to go home and just lay on my bed and just like lay out, because, you know, totally flat, 'cause it's like the only position that's comfortable. And yeah, in general, it's like I've tried to stay away from the stuff that's been less aggravating, but at the same time, like all those symptoms have been kind of unavoidable, I think. And that's kind of told me that, like, I think, you know, the surgery's right. It's right timing. Like I've given the PT and everything like it's fair shake, I think. You know, I've gone through all of that for like at least 6 months now. Yeah, and I'm eager to kind of get back and see if, you know, there's potential moving forward, kind of get back to what was once normal, hopefully, and, you know, have my hips feel good again. You know, that's something I'm hopeful for. Yeah, that's everything I can think of. I mean, any questions or any comments, you know, drop them in the comments below. All right, see ya.